Hello, my name is Noel Hossis and I'm one of the master coaches here at DeakinPrime. And we've had the good fortune of working with the Cotton On Group now in terms of further designing and launching the Cotton On Learning and Development Academy. And today I have with me Michael Hardwick, who is the CFO for Cotton On, and I've asked him to join us here today and chat a little bit about this. My first question, Mick, is this idea didn't just spring up overnight. You've been working on this for a while. So what's behind the Learning and Development Academy?
Well, Noel, about 7 years ago, the business set itself a fairly audacious mission, and that was to be the dominant fast fashion retailer globally. And since that period of time, we've added about 900 additional stores across 14 more countries.
Wow.
And as a result of that development and that mission that we'd set ourselves, also came a fairly high demand on our people development and needs to continually build capability within the business as well. So while our focus on people development has been happening over those 7 years, there was a realisation about 18 months ago that the emphasis on the development of our people was probably not where it needed to be to develop enough of the talent that we required as a business to deliver that mission.
Right. Yeah. To me, it's amazing in this industry, as a instructional designer, trainer, coach, etc. So many companies are slashing their people development budget, or getting rid of their L&D departments altogether.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing the complete opposite. You're investing, a lot of money, really, in terms of doing this. How difficult was that decision for you, particularly being the CFO?
Look, Noel, it was quite an easy decision. We have, as fast as we've been growing over the last couple of years, we've actually been moderating that growth to make sure that we had the people and the systems in place to deliver a world-class experience for our customer. And it was that moderation that really drove us to the investment in the people ahead of future growth opportunities, so that we can, grow even faster than what we have been in the future as well. And
get it right without the growing pains.
Look, there will always be those growing pains in, an organisation that's growing as quickly as what we have been. While we're trying to develop those structures and people ahead of that growth curve, I'm sure that there's still many in the business that wonder whether that development and those structures are coming after the growth as well.
Okay. Now the Learning and Development Academy is actually one part of 4 distinct units within the Cotton On Uni.
Mm-hmm.
So those other areas are the induction program and the Pathway to Leadership program and the Excellence in Leadership program. Do I have that right?
That's correct.
Right, okay. So what's unique about the Learning and Development Academy's content compared to the rest?
Look, the Academy is our most significant program within the whole people and development culture that we've built. It's a program that for an entry participant will take around 4.5 years to complete. It will be built across 9 modules with the expectation that a person entering the Academy would complete 2 semesters every year, hence the 4.5 year cycle. So we want them to be using the experiences from the classroom combined with their work experience in their functional role within the business, in addition to other lifetime development opportunities that we're giving them, particularly through the Cotton On Foundation as well.
Excellent. And I know that a lot of the design of all these programs that you have, your whole people strategy, is largely influenced by having listened to your people. You guys have done focus groups and interviews and surveys and quite a bit of stuff. So I know that that's influenced it. But now that the program's launched, now that the Learning and Development Academy is actually on the ground, up and running, people are attending, what sort of feedback are you getting from your people about it?
Well, look, we launched it 2 weeks ago, and the feedback has been phenomenal. We created quite a bit of buzz around that something big was about to launch. So people have been expecting something around the people and development area for about 3 months now. And then we launched the Academy just over a month ago, including our very own O-Week celebrations as part of that launch. And then the actual contact classes started just over 2 weeks ago now. The feedback has been, phenomenal, as I said. I think from a culture that many people within the organisation, background that many people in the organisation have come from, not having that university experience or that, post-school education, some felt quite threatened by the experience. There was a lot of apprehension, within the business of people that were starting to go through, we were going to start to put through this program. But I think that once they've been out on campus, at Deakin, they've experienced, their first engaged session, they know now what to expect, in terms of this future module, but also the remaining 8 modules that will follow it. There's a great sense of, ease that's come over, all of those people as well now.
Excellent. That's really good to hear, because one of the things that, that we've talked about that we wanted to make sure that we did is that the program isn't like any other traditional corporate training programs. And at the same time, it's also not like any typical university program.
Yeah.
And it's rightly so. Sometimes people get nervous and go, I just don't think I'm ready to go to university at this stage of my life. So we have tried to design it very, very differently. Has anyone commented about that it's different than what they expected? And if so, what have they said?
Look, I think the expectations from many were very uncertain. So I think our ability to get them, started, in the program and make them at ease very quickly within that program. Also the fact that we built each of the classroom settings around their brand or functional, team members, allowed them at least some level of familiarity with the groups as well. And I think the other important element that we added into that classroom setting was the design around the mentors within that classroom as well, which again, people that they're familiar with, they're comfortable with, that have been able to, make sure that the participants are feeling, easy and safe about their involvement as well.
Yeah. But, that really is a significant thing here, is that for each module it's 36 hours, but out of that there's 13 hours in the classroom. Really out of that it's only 8 hours. That's a little bit of that theory plus practical sort of stuff. Everything else is actually back, everything else is actually back in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
The actual learning projects that they work on are within their brands. So it's like they're adding to their own areas of work anyway. It's kind of part of their job.
Yeah.
So I know that means a lot to them, that it's not a lot of time away from work. It actually adds more meaning to work. But you mentioned about the module mentors. So these are people who've been through the Pathway to Leadership program or the Excellence in Leadership program. So execs and GMs and the rising stars and people on succession plan toward leadership. So they've all been trained on mentoring.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. And what's their attitude about this? Because it's kind of a unique thing to have all the senior people in the business be mentors to everybody going through university.
Oh, look, I think that they're all seeing that as part of their own personal development, themselves. And one of the phrases that we've coined along the way is the pay it back mentality as it relates to people development. It's been through the Executive Leadership Program or the Pathway Program, getting involved and making sure that we're developing members of the Academy, in the same way that we've developed them in the past, or whether it's even Academy members getting involved with the new hire induction program as well, to make sure that we're giving similar types of development opportunities to new hires coming through the business as well.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, I have to admit that, I see companies all the time that have these really lovely corporate poetry statements, our vision, mission, values, commitment to our people, but it's just kind of a framed document. Yours is one of the best examples of a company I've ever seen who actually lives and breathes it, and what you just talked about is a great example. Part of your cultural identity as a business is how you guys give back as well as how you pay forward. So I'm really quite impressed with that, which is going to sound like I'm buttering you up, because my next question is actually my last question, and this one was coming, is what's it been like working with DeakinPrime?
Look, we've had a great experience with DeakinPrime over the last 18 months of our journey in the development of this program. And I think one of the great aspects of working with the team has been their understanding of our business, their understanding of the values and the ethical framework that we operate within, understanding our foundation aspects and how that ties into the personal development program of our individual team members as well, and now being able to bring all of that to life as part of the academy and the design of the program as well. And I think the enthusiasm and the passion from the people at DeakinPrime have been, fantastic, and equally share, the same vision and passion that we have for the business as well. So the partnership has been, a great experience so far.
I can tell you I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's actually one of the best projects I worked on for very many years. So for myself, thank you very much on behalf of DeakinPrime. Thank you very much.